Hello, welcome back to BSLIVE. In this episode, I want to take you through the process on how I created this crayon ghost writing. So it was inspired by one of the Apple TV Plus show where the ghost is actually like writing a message to a bunch of kids. And yeah, so I decided to make this. Basically, I started by searching for crayon on Sketchfab, and I made sure it's downloadable. And actually, I found this one, Simple Crayon. Simple Crayon is actually by user download it, and you can perhaps make some changes. So if you look at the model right away, you can see the crayon is not in the right pivot. And I found a lot of assets like this, and they're not maybe not on the floor, or the pivot is kind of wrong, but it has potential. Like this one is actually really good. So I bring it into Blender, right? The first thing I did before all this fancy stuff like animating this using grease pencil, etc. So what I did with the crayon, I actually put it inside an empty. So I have two empty. One is for the position of the crayon, where it's actually doing the writing, and the other one is for the rotation of the crayon. So if you're using the crayon, you notice it's actually rotating while you're doing that. And I'm using Blender real-time recording to just make the rotations. So this is what I end up with, and it's only goes to up to around 110 frames for this writing. So there's a couple of elements. This is actually pretty simple to recreate, but I'm not gonna do that. But I'll show you how we can change this hello into another writing, another message. So this one is actually still live, and it's grease pencil, and there's also another curve, and the curve is acting as a motion path for this crayon. So let's say with the grease pencil, we know that grease pencil have material. In this case, I give it reddish kind of material. Okay, we're not gonna change that, but we can change this GP layer. So that's where I write this hello. It's a now we're gonna go to the top view, and we're gonna change it to a different writing. I'm gonna delete this grease pencil layer, and I will make another drawing, and I'm just gonna write very simple word. Okay, let's just write blend. I haven't tested with a letter that's not connected. This is just a single stroke, right? Okay, now you notice it disappears because for this grease pencil I have modifier, I believe. If I go back to the object mode, so the actual grease pencil object have modifier, build modifier. There's the start and there's the length, sequential grow. I didn't change that, but if you scrub the timeline, it will write it for you. But you notice the crayon is still writing hello. So I will save this just in case. We're gonna change that. So the hello actually following this motion path. I'm gonna delete this. But we have now grease pencil. If we right click, convert to path, and then hit tab on the actual path. So we actually have this curve based on our grease pencil strokes. Okay, so now we can use, I believe we can use this path as path animations. In order to do that, I will look at our little rig. So this is the crayon model with a bit of animations, and it has constraint called follow path. The target should be our new stroke, and we need to animate the path. So we need to click on that, and now our writing is more or less correct. So the crayon seems to be a little bit fast. So I might need to do a bit of offset, or maybe with our grease pencil we can check. Okay, that's kind of the motion paths kind of finish around 100. So with our grease pencil we might need to extend this a little bit, offset it a little bit. Oh, the start, okay, there's a start delay. Okay, maybe check this out. When it's over there, we need to delay the start. So I'm offsetting slightly. Okay, now start. So there's still a little bit. Might need to adjust this by eyes actually. But you got the idea. So anyway, the crayon motion is correct. And the rotations, if you want to see me doing it, so this is the rotations. I have the record auto key on, and we start from the very beginning. I ensure I have ability to rotate this crayon, and then I play back while rotating. So this is happening in real time. Okay, maybe just ignore the grease pencil. It's a little bit, somehow it has some kind of speed difference, or the crayon is rotating too much. Let's stop it, stop the recording. But yeah, it can be a little bit better. But these animations can be baked, and then it will actually work as AR. I already tested and it's all working fine on Sketchfab assets. So when I look at the Sketchfab, I often think of them like and some of them are really good, and most of them can work as AR, but they need some kind of rig, like this crayon, for example. But for the next episode, I might talk about treasure chest, or things that actually have some kind of obvious mechanics. For example, I mean, some bit of rigging, I believe. But I think the actual rig and animations can actually be hosted at Sketchfab, which is actually really cool. This one doesn't have animations. It has the lock. But yeah, this is like really good assets, right? But you can see the pivot is maybe slightly wrong, and we don't have control over the lock itself and the hinge. I either work on the door, or something like treasure chest, or maybe something like DeLorean. I want to work somewhere here. Maybe that's gonna be for the next video anyway. Yeah, so maybe we have to we can rig Sketchfab. So in the end we can have, let me find the blend for the ghostwriter. Is this USDZ, I believe. So it's writing, this one is writing the word hello. Oh yeah, we don't have the stroke because ideally it should be maybe like an animated PNG, or like a GIF or a video, or like even like a particles, or maybe like just like a shape. I don't think we can do that with AR yet. We can use like a particles, like pretend particles, but to make a simple rig to open a door, open a drawer, or like doing a hinge. It's basics, but if you think about it, it's crucial. This one has everything except that it doesn't have shader. So maybe I talk about this in the future. This one is 3D scan, but this is like really good model. I don't know how he made it, but motion path, very basics but really important. If you're making AR, it's actually quite interesting because people can change the message and etc. All right. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.